it's the next day and we're downstairs now, and I'm going to show you all my plants I have down here. And I did the same thing, I just kind of brought them all in one place just so I can show you guys, except for two. I didn't want to move them just because I'm scared of breaking them. So I'm going to just go ahead and start with my smallest plants and then go on to my big plants. So one of my small plants that I have right here is this aloe vera, and it's actually a propagated aloe vera. I used to have one a few years ago, but then I started to get really big and I ended up giving it to my mom. And so that one is really huge now, and I just kind of took a little piece from it, and it actually, I was able to get some roots out of it. So this is a little baby from an aloe vera plant I used to have back then. But yeah, this is one of the small ones. And then I have this burro's tail or donkey's tail, and it's starting to like trail over. These can get really long, and they're super easy to propagate too. You just get like a little bead and then just put it in soil and then it'll start to root. But this is one of my favorite plants because it's like a succulent, so I only need to water like once a week or maybe once every 2 weeks. So it's a very low maintenance plant, and I'm hoping it survives the winter. So far it seems like it's doing okay. It hasn't dried, it hasn't done anything, it's still surviving. So I have high hopes for this plant. Okay, two other plants that I have right here are these two nerve plants. I think they're called like Fitonias or Fitonas. This one is a red nerve. This one seems like it's doing okay. It's a little leggy. It doesn't have a lot of leaves, and her leaves are kind of small. This one I've been having troubles just trying to figure out what to do with it. I love the leaves on it, and I also love the leaves on this one. This is a silver nerve, but this one, as you can see, it's slowly dying on me. I did spray some neem oil on these two back in the summer, and I feel like I didn't really like it. So ever since then, some of its leaves have started drying up and just slowly dying. So I really don't have a lot of high hopes for these surviving through the winter, but we'll see what happens. Alright, so then I have this Marble Queen's Pothos, and this one is a super slow growing plant. It's pretty much been the same size since I've bought it. Besides this part here, it's the only part that's actually growing. I feel like it's like, you know, a little vine. But other than that, it's remained the same, but her leaves are super gorgeous. I love they're variegated, so they have like little specks of white, like green, and then like the regular green. And so this is one of my favorites, and it's a very low maintenance plant. I literally keep it in my entryway, and it doesn't get a lot of light all day, so it did survive. But I know these can kind of also survive in like low light environments. But yeah, this one is a very low maintenance plant, and I love it. So I'm hoping all these plants survive during the winter. And then up next, I have a little propagated philodendron Brazil, and one of my friends actually gave me this, and I absolutely love it, even though it's still small. But the leaves on it are gorgeous. It's like dark green with like a lime green stripe through the middle, and it's growing a little new leaf right there, which I'm really happy for. Up next is this little baby succulent, and this one is super adorable. It's just the tiniest little thing, but it's so perfect. And it, like I said before, I only water like once or twice. So it's once a week or once every 2 weeks, just because it's succulent and it doesn't need a lot of water. And then I have this Christmas cactus that I propagated it. My mom has like a really huge two Christmas cactuses actually. I think it's called a Christmas cactus. Either way, I'm going to put in the names of the plant right there on the bottom. But anyways, I propagated it from my mom's plant, and it's surviving, and it actually was able to root. And then it's this one, I don't know if you can see it, but it's growing like a little pink bud at the top, which I'm pretty excited for. But yeah, this is still a baby, but I'm still excited for it. And then I have this jelly plant, and this is like it's also called a tricolor peperomia, I believe. And this one, we bought it thinking it was a rubber tree tonique. Turns out it wasn't. We got the wrong plant, but the leaves kind of give off that similar look to it. But yeah, this one is thriving. It's giving me new leaves. The leaves are getting thicker. It's getting longer. This one is just living. I love it. Okay, one of my absolutely favorite plants is the ZZ plant. And as you can see, it's thriving. It's giving me new stems, new leaves. I did try to propagate this one. Actually, I did propagate this one, and it's the little leaves right here, and it's still a baby, but it's growing. But yeah, this one is one of my favorites just because I literally have it in a dark place in my kitchen. It doesn't get a lot of light, and it's thriving. It's giving me new leaves. I literally water it maybe once every 2 weeks, literally, and it's surviving. So I really have high hopes for this one. I'm hoping they don't die actually, but I really like this plant. Up next, I have this Dracaena, and I think it's like a colossal, like a Florida Beauty Dracaena. I actually got this one at Walmart for like $2.50. It was on sale because it was dying, and I brought it home, and it's been thriving since then. It's given me new leaves, and it's actually growing a new little baby right here. I don't know if you can see it, but this one I keep it next to my door. I have a window right there, and it's loving it right there, and it's, I don't know, I love her leaves just because they're like a green, and they have yellow specks and white specks, and it's just a really gorgeous plant. Another plant I keep next to my door is this fern. This fern, at first I thought I wasn't going to be able to keep it alive just because I've heard ferns can be kind of difficult to maintain. And I feel like this one is thriving. It's just keeps on getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Before you know it's going to take over my house. But I already had to repot this one once because it outgrew its pot. It does have some little dry spots. I might have to change it to a different room just because it's not as warmer downstairs as it is upstairs. And I know these plants like the humidity and the warmth and a lot of sunlight. So this one I might have to just move it upstairs just because I don't want it to die because it's just growing and it's so beautiful. And I need to stop moving it because it's dropping all these little leaves on me. But this is one of my favorite plants. And I have a coffee plant that I feel like isn't doing super well because I don't understand what's going on with this plant. Like, it's still giving me new leaves, but some of its leaves are turning like yellow and brown. I think its dirt might be too moist. But this is a coffee plant, and I got this one at Lowe's. And when I got it, it wasn't in the best shape either. So it's like been on and off lately, but I don't know exactly what to do. I might just have to water it less often just so the soil can dry up. But yeah, this is a coffee plant that I have. And then I have a succulent that's been with me for quite a few years already, and it hasn't died. So it has been dropped, which is why I have all these little like leaves right here in the pot, because it's been dropped and it dropped a few leaves, and it also, I don't know why it's growing this way. I don't understand, but it's growing to the side, and I think I might need to put like a little stick or something so it can just grow upright. But yeah, it's still living. So I put my hair up because it was bothering me, but back here I have more plants. I'm gonna start off with this one, and this is this is a Pearls and Joy pothos, and this one, as you can see, is not doing so well. This is actually a little propagation. I left it, I think its soil was too moist for too long, and it just didn't like it, and so some of the leaves died off. But yeah, these are the surviving leaves. It's not doing so well, but that's one of the plants I have, and some of these I actually have in my living room. And this is a polka dot plant. I'm not exactly sure what the whole name is, but I know it's called a polka dot plant. And this one I got it. It's actually the second polka dot plant I get. And the first one died on me. I think I overwatered it. And so this one, I tried not to overwater it, but it's still not doing great. So I really don't have a lot of hope for this plant. I mean, the leaves are really pretty. Some of these are like pink dots, red dots, and the one that died right here had white dots. But yeah, this polka dot plant is giving me all the troubles. And then I have another philodendron Brazil right here, and this one has more lime green on it than this one. But I feel like once these are big enough, I think maybe some of the new leaves will be like darker green or whatnot. But this is a really, really beautiful plant. I just love how the leaves are on that one. I already showed you guys a ZZ plant. And then this one I have on my coffee table, and this is a Rex begonia. And this one was very like luscious and it had big beautiful leaves, but then just out of nowhere they started dying off and it literally just has 2 leaves left. So I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't make it through the winter just because I've already lost quite a few leaves. But either way, I still love how her leaves look. They're like a light green, pink, purple, and the bottom they just look purple and it's just super pretty. I just love it, and I know these can get really big, which I was kind of hoping for because I love big plants. And then back here I have this one I keep in my living room, and this is a Dieffenbachia. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it, but this one is thriving, but other days it has yellow leaves. And I keep it like in a sunny area and I water it often, so I don't know what its deal is. It's just a very dramatic plant. But either way, I still love her leaves. I know, but I'm really careful with this plant because I read that it can be kind of toxic, like the little sap or whatever that it has in its leaves can cause like numbness in the mouth. So I don't want that happening to me, so I'm always like very careful and just grab it by the pot just because I'm scared that I might accidentally touch it and then put it in my mouth. But either way, this one is always giving me new leaves. There's actually a new leaf growing in there. Oh, I just touched growing in there. But yeah, this one's beautiful. It's adorable. Let's put this one down here. And then I do have an orchid. And this one just has dry purple flowers on top, but this one, its leaves have actually gotten longer since I've got it, and it's giving me a new leaf right here. I know some people don't like orchids because it can be a hassle. For me, it hasn't. Maybe I'm not doing it right, but I just literally water it every so often, and it seems to be living. It hasn't died on me yet, so that's just what I'm going to keep on doing because it seems to be working. And I have a big old succulent looking plant, and I think it's like starts with a K, also called a flapjack or something like that, but I can't really remember it, but either way I'll list it down below. And this one has been thriving since I've got it. It's gotten bigger, it's giving me new leaves, it's actually growing 2 little baby leaves right there. And I keep it right here in the entryway because this little area right here gets some sunlight throughout the day. And then I do have some little cactuses that I keep in my living room. I love cactuses because just like succulents, you literally need to water it like once every 2 weeks. They really don't need a lot of water. They're super low maintenance. They just need a lot of sunlight. So these I will probably be moving upstairs so they can get more sunlight. But yeah, these are adorable and I love them. I'm just scared that I'm going to drop the cactus on me and get poked by all its little pokies that it has. And then I have a little propagated marble queen's pothos, which is from the pothos that I showed you earlier. It hasn't given me any new leaves since I planted it. It's just these 2 and they're still little. I might just have to move it to a different place. Maybe it just doesn't, it's not happy where it's at right now. But either way, I still like it. And then I have a propagated neon pothos, and this one I propagated it from the neon pothos I have upstairs. And same thing, it just hasn't given me any new leaves, but it's still thriving, it's surviving, but I keep it downstairs just to add more of a pop of color, different shade of green. And then this is like a Janet Craig, or is it Janet Craig, compact something. But either way, I love it. It's since I got it, it's getting like whiter. And I only water it maybe once or twice a month, not that often, but I keep it in my living room next to the window. It gets some sunlight in the morning and it seems to be liking it because it hasn't dried off on me. But I'm gonna just leave it there. But yeah, this is an adorable plant I have, especially because it's just very low maintenance and it's a very dark, luscious green color. And I do have a Mandala pothos right here on this table, which I will show you later. And I don't want to move it just because it's starting to vine onto the table, onto the entryway table I have right here. And I don't want to break it off or, hurt it in some way that it's going to die. So I'm just going to show you guys a little clip of it later on. Okay guys, so this is the Mandala pothos that I was talking about earlier. As you can see, it started to vine on the table right there, so I didn't want to move it. But the leaves on this plant are just gorgeous. It's given me new leaves since then. It's getting like bushier, and you can see right here its little aerial roots have, you know, attached themselves to the table. So I'm just gonna let it be, let it, you know, do its thing. But yeah, this is one of my favorite plants. I love the leaves on it. And then right behind me I have this bird of paradise. It recently gave me 2 leaves like last month or September. It's this leaf and then this leaf back here. And this one at one point scared the crap out of me because I thought I had root rot, and I ended up switching out its soil and it didn't really have any root rot. It's just that I think I was just over watering it. So I really I don't water it that often, maybe like once a week, but I like to check its soil just because I don't want this beautiful giant thing to die on me. And down here, I actually have a snake plant. This one I keep in my living room next to my fireplace, and I have another one of these, but a lot smaller. These I absolutely love because they're also low maintenance. Literally water it maybe twice a month, and that's it. I keep it. They survive in low light environments. But yeah, if you're looking for like beginner plants or very low maintenance plants, the snake plants are the way to go. I also have a rubber tree tonique right here, and this one, when we first got it, it had more leaves down here, and I don't know what happened, but it's just started dropping my leaves, and every now and then it gets like random dark brown spots. I have no idea why. I've moved it from place to place. Maybe it doesn't get enough sunlight, but so far where I've had it, it hasn't dropped any leaves. So I might just keep it there and see what happens. But I love the leaves on it just because it almost looks like they're painted, like, you know, you took a brush and just painted some green on there. But yeah, this is a very beautiful plant, but also I'd say a high maintenance plant because I don't know, for me it's high maintenance because I don't know how to care for it. And I also have this plant. I've had this one for quite a few years now, I think 3 years, and I recently repotted it and it started growing even more, and it just started to give me bigger leaves, which I think is it's a lot happier in this pot. But I have no idea what the name of it is. I will try to Google it, look it up somewhere, see if I can find a name. But yeah, this plant is so adorable. I literally water it just a tiny bit every week. And yeah, I keep it right here in the entryway and it loves it. It's thriving, it's giving me all the leaves. It's a beautiful plant. And I have a giant fiddle leaf right here, but this is one of the giant leaves it has. This one we bought it at Lowe's, and I've heard fiddle leaves can be kind of a hassle. They can be very high maintenance plants because they're very sensitive to the cold, to the hot, any little draft. You have to water it, you know, at the same time or give it the same amount of water because then it'll just, you know, it'll be a dramatic plant and start dying on you or whatever. But so far, it hasn't done any of that to me. At one point, I was worried, I guess I still am, because it was growing new little baby leaves and they were just dying off. And I can still see some of them dying off right here. And then some of the leaves had little brown spots in it. So I don't know what that was. I did Google it and it said it could have been an infection of some sort, but I don't even know what to do. So I mean, I've just been watering it often, kind of just keep an eye on it, and it hasn't died. So I think it's, you know, surviving, pretty much like, so I just think it's surviving. So I'm gonna just leave it there. Who knows, I might just move it upstairs if I notice that it starts to die or any of that sort. So now I'm going to show you 2 more plants that I have in the living room that I didn't want to move because I was scared that they're going to break or just fall apart or something. So I'm just going to go ahead and show you those and then we'll come back. Okay, so this is one of the plants that I didn't want to move, and I'm sure you guys have seen this plant. I've showed it in one of my videos before. This is a Monstera, a Dasani, and it's getting very, very long, so I don't want to move it and hurt its vines. This is one of the pricier plants that I have, but I absolutely love it, and I think her leaves are just gorgeous. I do want to put on a plant stand just so it can and somehow make it vine up the wall. But yeah, this is an adorable plant. And then right here next to it, I have a satin, is it a silver satin pothos, I believe. But yeah, this one I've had issues with it. I had it here at one point and it was thriving, and then I switched it to a bigger pot and moved it to a different room, and then some of the vines started to slowly die off, so I switched it back to a smaller pot and moved it back, and since then it seems like it's doing better. It hasn't none of the vines have died so far. I'm hoping it lives through the winter because this is a very beautiful plant, and I just love how long her vines have gotten. Obviously the leaves at the bottom are a lot smaller just because they don't get the same amount of sunlight as they do at the top. But yeah, these are the two plants that I just have right here in this corner of my living room, just to kind of bring some life into this corner. But yeah, these are absolutely beautiful. Alright guys, so that was my entire plant collection that I have in my house. I haven't bought any new plants just because I'm scared that some of these won't make it through the winter. So I'm going to wait until spring or summer to buy new plants. And, you know, I'm still going to buy plants because you can never have too many. You can always propagate more of these plants and then, you know, have your little plant family keep on growing. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any plant tips, especially for, you know, how to keep your plants alive during these cold months, please comment down below. I will take any tip. But if you like this video and you want to see more videos like this, please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button, and before you leave, please don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye!